All right, today we're jumping into one of the most high-stakes missions you'll find in the book of Genesis. It's a quest for a wife, but this is no ordinary matchmaking story. This is about the future of a nation, and it all hinges on a sacred oath and a really clever test of character.
So let me ask you something. How far would you really go to keep a promise you made to someone you deeply respect? What kind of obstacles would you be willing to face? Just keep that question in mind, because that level of commitment, it's the absolute heart of the story we're about to get into. Okay, so let's set the stage. The setup seems pretty straightforward, but the stakes could not be higher. You've got Abraham, the aging patriarch. You've got his son, Isaac, the long-awaited, crucial heir. And then you have this absolutely critical mission, given to a trusted servant to go out and find the perfect wife to secure the family line. And that brings us right to the mission itself. Now, you have to understand, this was not just some casual request. This was a sacred, urgent, and very serious command. You see, everything that's about to happen is built on an oath. And this is way more than just a handshake deal. In the ancient world, an oath was a binding contract, often witnessed by God, with incredibly serious consequences. Abraham needed absolute 100% certainty from his most trusted servant. So, Abraham lays out these super specific instructions. Number 1, the wife must not be a local Canaanite woman. That's a hard no. Number 2, the servant has to go all the way back to Abraham's homeland and find her from among his own relatives. 3, and this is a huge one, under no circumstances is Isaac allowed to go back there himself. And finally, number 4, there's an escape clause. If the woman just says no, the servant is totally free from the oath. It's a mission with some incredibly tight parameters. So with that oath sworn, the servant heads out with this whole caravan, 10 camels in all. And when he finally arrives at his destination, he comes up with this brilliant plan to find exactly the right woman. He gets to a well right outside the city of Nahor, and this is the spot, where the women would come to draw water every evening. Now, he could just look for someone beautiful, right? But he knows this mission is way bigger than that. He needs to find someone with a truly generous and kind spirit. So he prays for a sign, a very specific test of character. And the precision of his prayer is really the key here. It's got 2 parts. First, the woman must offer him a drink. Simple enough. But the second part, that's the real test. She has to, completely unprompted, offer to water all 10 of his camels. That specific act of generosity, that's going to be the sign that she's the one chosen by God. And what happens next is just incredible. The test is set, the prayer is made, and right on cue, the heroine of our story enters the scene. I mean, the timing here is just stunning. The text says that before he had even finished praying, Rebekah arrives at the well with her jar. It's this immediate, almost breathtaking answer to his request, and it really feels like there's a guiding hand at work here. So the servant asks for a drink, and Rebekah not only agrees, but then she speaks the exact words he had prayed for. "I'll draw water for your camels too." Boom. She passes both parts of the test perfectly. The sign has been given. Now let's not just gloss over that offer to water the camels. It sounds simple, but remember, the servant didn't travel light. He had 10 camels with him, 10 thirsty camels. Think about this. A single thirsty camel can drink over 25 gallons of water. So Rebekah wasn't just offering a small courtesy. She was committing to the backbreaking work of drawing potentially over 100 gallons of water from a well, by hand, for a complete stranger. This reveals everything about her character. It's an act of radical hospitality, physical strength, and incredible initiative. These are the exact traits you'd want in a matriarch who's going to help build a nation. So he is completely convinced she's the one. But now he faces his next challenge. He has to convince her family to let her pack up her entire life and leave with him forever. So inside Rebekah's home, the servant lays out his case with masterful precision. He won't even eat or drink until he's told his story. He recounts every single detail: his master Abraham, the sacred oath, the long journey, and most importantly, the specific prayer at the well and how Rebekah fulfilled that sign down to the very last word. He presents it not as his idea, but as a divinely guided event. And her family, hearing this incredible story, is just completely convinced. Her brother Laban and her father Bethuel immediately recognize what's going on. Their response is crystal clear. This is from the Lord. We have no right to interfere. Here is Rebekah. Take her and go." Now, the family asks her to stay just a few more days, but the servant insists he has to leave immediately. So they put the final, life-changing decision to the one person who matters most. They ask Rebekah directly. And her answer is so simple, so powerful, and just decisive, no hesitation. "I will go." Just think about that for a second. She's agreeing to leave her home, her family, everything she's ever known, to travel with this man and marry someone she's never even met, all based on the incredible events of that one day. And with Rebekah's consent, the mission is a success. The journey home begins, and this leads us to the story's really poignant conclusion. And this is just a beautiful, almost cinematic moment. As the caravan approaches, Isaac is out in the fields meditating, and at the same time, he looks up and sees the camels, and Rebekah looks up and sees him. Their eyes meet across the distance, a quiet, powerful introduction. The servant explains everything that happened, and Isaac then takes Rebekah into his late mother's Sarah's tent, a deeply symbolic act, and he marries her. The story ends with this simple, beautiful statement. So she became his wife, and he loved her. And Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. So, what do you make of all this? Is this a story about the power of an oath and a servant's incredible devotion? Is it about Rebekah's amazing kindness and courage? Or is it really a narrative of divine providence, where every single step was guided by a higher power? Maybe it's all three, all woven together in a timeless quest that still fascinates us thousands of years later.